We are so sorry to hear that India is battling some deadly floods. We found out about this just recently because one of the folks that we're working with in India was personally affected by it.
He was traveling to Punjab and his train had gotten canceled and everything, and that's actually how we first found out that was happening. But now it just seems it's way more widespread because I thought it was more northern India.
Yeah.
And which New Delhi is northern, isn't it?
I got the sense that it was more situated in a particular area, but now
it's affecting
I'm
all these different regions, and it appears to be so. Really
just
really
brutal,
horrible.
Just brutal, and unfortunately,
people have lost
a lot
their
of
lives.
people have lost their lives. So, we're going to, of course, our hearts go out to you guys. We love you a whole lot, and so you're in our thoughts and prayers, and we're going to find out a little bit more about the situation here from the WION news outlet here, which we've seen some of their stuff before.
Yeah.
Brutal. Washing away entire houses.
The road is like cutting up. God. I've like never seen anything like this.
Wow. Unreal. All of the, because you don't, I wasn't thinking of like the landslides.
That car just missed that huge boulder. The house is just crushed to pieces in a second.
Terrifying.
Oh my God. Because it's the monsoons, right?
I don't know.
That caused it?
No.
I thought that's what we had read.
It's even worse when you can hear the people screaming, you know? Just the sheer power and the force, and then it's pushing all those trees. God.
The bridge.
Unreal.
This year, the 8th and 9th of July saw landslides and flash floods lashing several parts of India.
Flash floods, they come on like that, as I understand it.
What causes the flash flood? Just the rain?
Torrential rains claimed at least 6 lives. In the Poonch town of Jammu and Kashmir, the bodies of 2 soldiers washed away in the flash floods. Uttarakhand also experienced landslides and flash floods, with water levels in rivers and streams surpassing danger levels.
Oh my God, get out of the way! Ah. It's really dangerous.
Chandigarh, Mohali and Panchkula that
the
collectively
road.
form a
What?
tri-city
What?
also faced flood threats amid
I missed it.
unprecedented...
That was jeez.
Chandigarh.
What?
Like it's like, look at all that water, and those are
Oh
apartment
my God,
buildings.
I didn't even know what I was looking at. I
Yeah.
thought I was like a convenience store with shelves or something. Like I couldn't.
Yeah.
That's like a really
And then
far
you
away
see those
shot of like
cars
these
underwater.
apartments in
Those
the
are
water.
the roofs of the cars there.
Yeah, I didn't even know what that was.
Holy hell.
Mohali and Panchkula
How
that
do you
collectively
fix all
form
that
a
damage?
tri-city also faced flood threats amid unprecedented rain.
God.
And New Delhi has recorded the highest ever rainfall in a single day in July since 1982.
People are just out there chilling because I guess they can't go anywhere. Like, what are you gonna do? Because you just got to get to the highest
You gotta get to the high
But
ground,
like,
I
it's
guess.
so dangerous and scary because it's like destroying these full-on houses in a second.
Oh, absolutely.
So even if you were on the roof of a house,
Yeah, if the house is going down, you're going down with it.
yeah,
It's just
horrible.
absolutely
You
terrifying.
gotta go on like the highest mountain ever that you can find.
Horrific scenes are not just restricted to India. Even its neighboring country, Pakistan, is affected even more adversely.
Oh no.
Our hearts go out, of course, to all
Over
the
70
Pakistani
people have been
viewers.
killed by floods and landslides in Pakistan since June. Flood fury
How
spells
many?
misery across India Over 70 people have been killed by floods and landslides in Pakistan since June. Flood fury spells misery across India and Pakistan. In this episode, we look at some of the shocking videos of nature's wrath caught on camera.
It's just so sad to see, see your own home.
Let us know in the comments, is this somewhat common? When was the last time this happened? Like, is this like one of the worst...
I would think
one of the worst floods in history.
I don't know. It just seems just awful here. Shit. It just looked like that boulder was made of foam or something, like the way that it was rolling there.
Flash floods and landslides have been triggered by torrential monsoon rains in Himachal Pradesh, creating havoc, claiming human lives. God. 13 landslides and 9 flash floods were reported across the mountain state. The Chandigarh-Manali National Highway was blocked due to a major landslide. In fact, 736 roads, including 3 national highways, were blocked.
It's like that's a huge
Amid
part of
heavy
their
rainfall in
infrastructure.
Himachal Pradesh, water from overflowing Bias River entered the Pando village in Mandi district, washing away a bridge connecting Ort village to Banjar. In response to the heavy rainfall, authorities of Pando Dam opened the floodgates to release excess water.
Maybe trying to ease some of that pressure.
Where does it really? It just goes down.
Consequently, the water level of the Bias River has risen significantly,
it goes into the river.
Mark. The Pando Lake is created by the dam and is located about 19 kilometers upstream from Mandi town on the Bias River.
Famous Gurdwara.
Flooded.
Very sad.
Manikaran Sahib, a famous Gurudwara or place where Sikhs come together to worship, was also flooded amid the downpour. These videos show that the Gurudwara's premises are fully submerged and River Parvati flowing above the main bridge.
And even if it's still standing, there's like there's just so much water damage.
Oh yeah, and structural damage, like you couldn't really trust it to be.
Oh no.
Oh, and an ancient temple
ancient
too.
Shiva temple in Mandi was partially submerged in water due to the Bias River in spate. The temple has now been separated from the city since the bridge connecting it was washed away in floods.
बहुत ही खराब सिचुएशन है इन दिस टाइम, क्योंकि यहाँ पे जितना भी जो फ्लो आ रहा है वो सारा कुल्लू से आ रहा है. यहाँ पे इतना मतलब आप खुद ही रिवर का ये देख रहे हैं. लास्ट टाइम तो जो यहाँ पे जो टेंपल है हमारे पंचमावक्ता जी, जो शिव जी का टेंपल है.
Oh, there's subtitles right there. Why did I not realize? Sorry.
Yeah. Well, they didn't kind of look like subtitles,
I
so I
just
can
want to
understand.
rewind it at first.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a different format than what we're used to.
क्योंकि यहाँ पे जितना भी जो फ्लो आ रहा है वो सारा कुल्लू से आ रहा है. यहाँ पे इतना मतलब आप खुद ही रिवर का ये देख रहे हैं. लास्ट टाइम तो जो यहाँ पे जो टेंपल है हमारे पंचमावक्ता जी, जो शिव जी का टेंपल है, तो उसके साथ पुल है वो भी कोलैप्स हो गया. तो यहाँ पे हर जगह पे लैंडस्लाइड हो रहा है. बहुत ही कुल्लू में बहुत ही बुरे हाल है. अपनी जो वैली स्लैश वैली है वहाँ पे भी बहुत ही बुरे हाल है सर. आई थिंक अगर ऐसे रहा 2-3 दिन में बहुत ही ज्यादा ये नुकसान हो जाएगा यहाँ पे हिमाचल में.
Oh, it's scary.
Another frightening video has emerged from Kullu, a district in Himachal Pradesh.
Just like eating away, tearing the road down.
Intense rainfall resulted in landslides along the Bias River, causing a portion of the Kullu National Highway to be washed away.
Oh my God, it's a national highway.
As a consequence, the flow of traffic between Mandi and Kullu was disrupted, leaving numerous vehicles stranded on the
like
affected
getting
highway.
food to people, medication to people. There's all sorts of things,
Big problem.
byproducts that are, as a result of
Residents
this.
refuse to leave houses.
Despite the red alert in Mandi, several residents have refused to leave their homes, fearing property damage.
But how are they going to stop it?
In some videos, Mandi Superintendent of Police Soumya Sambasivan is seen interacting with residents living along the Beas River and urging them to leave their homes due to the flood risk.
जिला के हालात अभी इस तरह के हैं, ये कंप्लीट डिजास्टर की स्थिति में है और सभी नदियां उफान पर हैं, बहुत ही ज़्यादा उग्र स्थिति है और बिल्डिंग्स, ब्रिजेस और पार्किंग एरियाज बहुत सारे जो जल में निमग्न हो चुके हैं। लेकिन हमने इवैक्यूएशन की बहुत अच्छी कार्रवाई की है, हमारी लोकल टीम्स और रेसिडेंट्स के साथ मिलकर हमने जहां पर लोगों को खतरा है वहां से लोगों को हमने इवैक्यूएट किए। करीब 8 से 12 परिवार जो हैं उनके लोगों को हमने आज ही इवैक्यूएट किया और अभी भी इवैक्यूएशन की जो प्रक्रिया है वो जारी है।
The death toll in the state between the 24th of June to the 9th of July has been reported at 72, with 8 people missing and 92 injured. And property worth 4,000 crore rupees or $485 million has been damaged in the state. Chief Minister Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu urged people not to venture out.
Oh my gosh.
The Meteorological Department, or IMD, has issued a red alert for 10 of 12 Himachal districts, including Mandi, Una, Hamirpur, Bilaspur, Chamba, Kangra and Kullu. Meanwhile, the National Disaster Response Force, or NDRF, and other rescue teams are active across affected areas.
Oh my God.
Wow, are they maybe pulling people from there to
The houses?
Yeah.
That's so crazy. Oh my God, that's so dangerous.
In this video, the NDRF team rescued 6 people who were stranded in the Beas River near Nagwain village in Mandi district due to the rise in the water level of the river following incessant rainfall in the state. Flood victims who are living in a relief shelter are in disbelief. They've lost their homes and all their belongings to nature's fury.
Everything.
I can't imagine.
इस तरह से हो गया मैं तो बेघर हो गया हमारे पास ना जमीन पे ना जगह कुछ भी नहीं रहा हमारे पास तो
सुबह जैसे उठे वैसे देखा हमने तो पानी का बहाव जो था बढ़ चुका था और जो मैं हमने अपने मकान देखे तो पानी जो उसके बीच में बज रहा था जब को रौला पड़ गया कोई पानी आ गया सब निकल गया अपने साइड पे तो कईयों के घर जैसे कि सामान निकालने के लिए तो वैसे मकान गिरने शुरू हो गए सामान निकालने का भी मौका नहीं मिला
The victims are relying on volunteers for their food and first aid as they temporarily stay in a relief camp.
Brutal.
Incessant rainfall also wreaked havoc in another Himalayan state, Uttarakhand. In the Chamoli district, a bridge built over Jumagarh River was washed away. The Indo-Tibet border road was blocked and contact with over a dozen border villages was lost.
Oh my God, tries to cross the river.
Another video that went viral on social media from Uttarakhand shows a bus full of passengers.
Just thankful our friend is alive. Like,
oh, I mean, it's just brutal what we're seeing here. I didn't expect to see such intense footage. I didn't know it was this
when he had originally told me like I briefly kind of Googled it, but I thought, oh shoot, they're having floods, and like I didn't know it was like this is horrible.
You know, in our part of the world, we don't really have a frame of reference for this. We do get
we
floods
only had like one
from
flood
time to time, but it
hadn't happened for like years and years and years.
Yeah.
The floods, when was that? A couple of years ago?
A few years ago, yeah.
And the roads were kind of closed, but it's not like we don't get monsoons and have like landslides and
to my recollection, we don't get these flash floods like what we're seeing here, where instantly we've got this deluge of
and the damage,
water and these
like houses aren't getting washed away. And like entire apartment buildings.
Unfortunately, I do feel that some houses have been washed away in our region, but it's very small compared to what we're seeing here.
Yeah, and it's in an isolated area.
Spot.
Like
it's
that's
not
what I mean.
Yeah, like
all
a smaller
these different areas.
Wow. Yeah.
This is crazy.
Across a heavily flowing river. The passengers are seen jumping out of the vehicle as the bus started tilting due to strong flow of the river in Ramgarh village. Reportedly, authorities reached the spot and rescued the passengers.
So
thank goodness,
In several parts of eastern and central Rajasthan, intense monsoon rains brought normal life to a standstill.
14 districts?
Flooding out roads, rail tracks, low-lying residential areas, and even hospitals.
Yeah, like what do you do when the hospital's underwater, right?
Oh shoot! I'll have to evacuate all the patients.
no
Where do they go?
In Jaipur, various wards were flooded, including the cancer wing, which is located in the basement of the hospital. 15 cancer patients were reportedly shifted to safer areas. Videos also show patients on stretchers in the corridors and care assistants condemning the hospital staff over lack of beds and other infrastructure.
10 बार बोल लिया तो कहते हैं हम का अपने घर से बैठ दें, हमारे पास कोई बेड नहीं है, कहीं भी लेटो कहीं मत लेटो. हम परेशान हैं साहब, इस बात से हमारी कुछ सुविधा होनी चाहिए.
Flood-like situation was also witnessed in Punjab's Mohali, where rainwater entered hundreds of houses in the city.
There's no escape.
Yeah, like where do you go?
A video of a posh residential area in Dera Bassi, a city in the state of Punjab, is doing the rounds on social media. People can be seen leaving their high-rise buildings in boats and tractor trolleys to a safer location as rain-fed water from the Ghaggar River entered fields, swamping large swaths of land.
Like if you take
if you're on like
shelter, I'm gonna go
on
stay
one of
in
those
my
upper
apartment building
levels
as the water's rising up, like you're actually trapped. Like how do you get out?
Yeah, with one of these boats here, I suppose, right?
And you go out your window and you go on a boat. Jesus.
The district administration has deployed teams of the National Disaster Response Force, or NDRF, to rescue trapped people.
And how do they find out who's trapped?
In this video, they can be seen carrying out rescue operations after residential buildings in Dera Bassi got heavily flooded.
I imagine people still have their cell phones and those that have a charge
has joined flood relief operations in the region. India's Meteorological Department issued a red alert for 2 districts in Jammu and Kashmir, Kathua and Samba. Four persons, including 2 soldiers, died in the region due to rains, which triggered landslips and flash floods. The 2 soldiers drowned while crossing a mountainous stream during a patrol in the difficult terrain of Poonch. Both the bodies were later retrieved.
Everyone's working together,
Everyone's
coming together to help everyone.
Pilgrimage was also suspended for 3 days due to widespread rain and landslides. The 62-day pilgrimage sees devotees set out for the cave shrine in the South Kashmir Himalayas. Nearly 15,000 pilgrims were stranded in Jammu and other places after the pilgrimage was suspended, but they remained undeterred and optimistic. On the 11th of July, the Amarnath Yatra resumed after 3 days. A record 100,000 devotees have visited the cave shrine since the commencement of the Yatra on the 1st of July.
Like they resumed their...
Sounds like it, yeah.
Expedition.
It must be a safe passage for them.
Oh my God, how are they driving like that?
India's capital, New Delhi, wasn't spared the monsoon mayhem either.
That's crazy. It is a bit more... it's like central north, isn't it? New Delhi there?
Okay.
I thought New Delhi is pretty... somewhat close to Punjab.
I'm pretty ignorant, so I would need to see the map.
Same, but I know that
it's
it's part of the north. It's not north. It's not like way up there, but.
On the 12th of July, Yamuna water levels breached an all-time record of 207.49 meters. This record was set in 1978 after Haryana, a neighboring state, released water from the Hathni Kund barrage. The new record of water flow is now 207.55 meters.
Getting close.
On the 9th of July, Delhi recorded a staggering 153 millimeters of rain in a 24-hour period. This is the highest rainfall in a single day in July since 1982. The downpour resulted in numerous areas of the city and the national capital region being submerged in water.
I can't imagine these people who are
Commuters faced difficulties as roads became impassable and traffic movement was restricted. The infrastructure was adversely impacted. In this video, Delhi's Public Works Department Minister Atishi got onto a boat to take stock of the Yamuna River amid rising water levels. Delhi's Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal called for an emergency meeting.
What has Modi?
I'm sure he's doing whatever he can to help.
Like, but it's per state too. Like their state would go into be like a state of emergency. Does all of India go into? I guess because it's only certain regions.
Yeah,
the
whole
whole country wouldn't go state of
certain
emergency.
regions and yeah.
India's northeast region too has been affected by severe flooding after rains battered the region, turning roads into rivers and submerging villages. In the state of Assam, the flood situation continues to make life difficult for locals as water got into the homes of villagers. In the Barpeta district of Assam, around 40 villages were submerged due to flood waters. Nearly 10,000 people are affected.
हम लोग का यहाँ 2007 में हम लोग इधर आया 2007 या 6 में तब नदी तो यहाँ से 3 किलोमीटर था दूर था और यहाँ जो इरोजन हो रहा है 2 साल में यहाँ से 1.5 किलोमीटर था जमीन उधर लेकिन 2 साल में यहाँ तक पहुँच गए.
Residents of the district were seen living with a handful of their farm animals, animals that they had managed to rescue from drowning in the floods.
গরু ছাগল বেড়া বরকি ইত্যাদি আৰু ধান চাউল বেলেগৰ খেত কৰি আনো সেইবিলাক তলাই গেছে নষ্ট হৈ গেছে মই পুৰা দুখিত সেই কাৰণে ৰাস্তাত ৰহি আছো.
This isn't the first time the villages of Assam have been inundated, leaving behind a trail of death and destruction. The Brahmaputra Valley that encompasses the northeast part of India witnesses floods almost every year, forcing residents to flee their homes, leaving behind their belongings.
Oh, hell.
On the 4th of July, a massive rock crushed cars during a landslide in the landlocked state of Nagaland.
How terrified would you be
If
the
you were in
car
one of those
behind
cars,
the one that was filming?
No kidding, hey? You think you're safe
video
from the
from
floods,
the accident
but
site shows how cars turned into a heap of metal within seconds.
God.
2 people died and 3 were injured in the accident.
oh,
It's horrible.
that's so sad. Oh.
Miraculously, occupants of one of the cars were seen exiting it. The incident was captured on the dashboard camera of a car waiting behind.
God.
On the other side of India's border in Pakistan, monsoon rains have caused havoc. At least 80 people, including 8 children, have been killed by floods and landslides. On the 5th of July, heavy monsoon rains hit Lahore, flooding streets and several residential parts of the city. The 6th of July, 8 children in northern Pakistan were killed by a landslide while playing cricket after monsoon rains. The incident took place in the remote Shangla district. The children were all aged between 12 and 15.
Oh my God.
The Pakistan Army, along with the local rescue teams, pulled out 8 bodies after hours of efforts.
Wow.
Pakistan is no stranger to deadly monsoons. The country is still reeling from the catastrophic floods of 2022, which put a third of the country underwater.
Just last year.
The cash-strapped country is still struggling to recover
That's a lot.
Jeez.
from last year's flooding, which caused $30 billion in damage.
You just
In
can't
both South
afford
Asian
to
countries,
do this every
monsoons
year.
are
Like,
becoming more erratic. The reason? Climate change and global warming.
not good.
Although floods are a recurrent natural occurrence, human-caused climate change is making severe flooding events like the ones we are seeing in India and Pakistan more widespread. And global warming is creating complex changes in our environment. There's a lot at stake. Is it possible to reduce damage from future floods and landslides?
Can you rebuild in some of these spots, or is it no longer worth it
How do you
because the
fix
next
it?
flood might
Yeah.
just wash it away again?
Exactly. It's just not sustainable.
It's very
right?
scary. It's a very tough spot to be in.
Mm.
Wow. Well, a tremendous amount of respect for the folks that put this video together here and gave us such a good overview of the situation.
That's intense. It's, gosh, we just hope you guys in India and your families and friends and everyone are okay.
Absolutely.
Because
Yeah.
I hope it's getting better because it started, did it start about a week ago now?
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's
Like, I
just,
hope it's let up, the rain, and the worst is over, I'm hoping.
yeah, I just can't imagine being in a situation like that where you lose everything and it's like your city has been destroyed. It's you don't know where your next meal is going to come from. You don't know where you're going to sleep that night. Maybe you've got kids and a wife and elderly parents that you have to look after. The weather's not
There's
good.
so
You're
many
cold. You're
variables.
freezing. There's 10,000 other people that you're squished together with who all are also hungry and tired and need a place to sleep. It's just
No escape.
unfathomable.
I'm going to read this comment. As someone from Himachal, every year we do expect heavy rainfall, but this year was way beyond what we thought. In my area, water supply was down for about a week, and there are other areas where there's still no supply. Evacuations were done, rescues were conducted, but there were still many losses. I hope tourists realize that Himachal is not just about pretty landscape and sceneries. It's more than that. Mountains are brutal. They don't forget.
Yeah, Mother Nature is brutal, which is what we're seeing here. But we're also seeing the goodness of people, that when bad things happen, good people show up to help. We saw people walking, maybe perhaps the injured on those gurneys. We saw them being fed. There was that Sikh gentleman in the turban who was dishing out food. When these bad things happen, people rally together and help. And it's in the midst of such a dark situation, we're seeing some light there. Yeah, very good rescue efforts, very strong people. May God comfort the family of the 2 soldiers who washed away in the flood. Yeah, amen. Gosh. Well,
Some countries like Japan have actually managed to overcome flash floods and meandering
rivers to a certain extent, to a great extent. Okay. So I think
certain infrastructure it requires, but then it's hard to do that. It's hard to just like build this really robust everywhere type of system or anti-flood buildings and everything. And it's just like a lot of money and everything. And then like every year when it just keeps happening, you don't have time to do it too. So
yeah, sort of what are the next steps? I mean, I think right now it's trying to make sure as many people are safe and sound as possible, and then the rebuilding effort, which is going to be tremendous, and just so sad that so many people have been lost so far. Our hearts go out to our Indian friends, our Pakistani friends. We love you guys a whole lot. What else can we say?
I just feel bad I didn't mention Pakistan earlier when I said I hope you guys in India are doing okay. Obviously, Pakistan was also affected.
Yeah. Well, we love you guys a whole lot, and we wish for brighter and happier times ahead.